Hi ho, quarantinerinos. Always wanted to say that, sorry. It's a Ned Flanders joke, hope you get it. Hi everyone, so welcome back and thank you so much for tuning in again. So the second part to this series is going to be on how I save money with skincare products. And this is my favorite one because as much as I am a makeup artist, I am a skincare expert and an esthetician as well. And one of the ways that I save money is by thinning out or rationing skincare products the way that I think they really could cut corners on in the skincare world. And if you know enough about our FDA, so the full disclosure that I'll get on about my soapbox before we get into ways that I save money, because I need this to be said, and I preach this a lot anyway, is our FDA does not cover beauty products. Europe's FDA does, or their version of it. They ban about 1,200 ingredients from their consumer products that include beauty and toiletry products, and our FDA doesn't. And so there are a lot of brands that are recommended by doctors that are still up for debate on whether or not they are doing more harm than good, or if they're just dormantly, really not doing anything but either sealing in dry skin or clogging your pores and drying you out and causing imbalances. So one of the things that I can't stress enough is how important my natural beauty regimen is when it comes to skincare products, because it is one of the ways that I have been able to really invest in certain products that I feel is crucial to the skincare world, but not spend a whole lot of money on all of the stuff that's daily. So the three main products that I'm going to talk about today are going to use in your skincare routine that are everyday. Everybody should be cleansing and toning and moisturizing their skin. And one of the ways that I can't stress to you that I save money is by using things like aloe. So first and foremost thing that I want to talk about on skincare, on how I save money, is using cleanser that is pure aloe. The same stuff you'd put on a sunburn. I make sure that there's no other junk in it. Make sure you're reading ingredients, because again, our FDA hasn't banned anything that other people have, so read your ingredients. But for the most part, aloe is such a great tool to calm down the skin. It's anti-inflammatory and it doesn't take anything but the excess oil and dead skin, okay? It really is just a basic cleanser gel that you would otherwise, in my opinion, use to remove excess makeup and whatnot. And now most eye makeup doesn't come off with just a gel. That's why a lot of eye makeup removers have an oil base to it. So if you use something like a coconut or an olive oil to remove your makeup, have a decent cloth. I usually just take a cleansing cloth that I get that's like a baby washcloth or an old t-shirt to really get up into the eye area, but I don't tug or drag on that skin. I just, work very gently to get up into the lash line. And then I go through and use the gel to cleanse off the rest of my makeup with. By using things like aloe and tea tree oil in my cleansing and in my cleaning of my brushes and the things that I use to put on my face. As far as cleansing goes, it's probably one of the most basic and important steps, and it's something that, if done wrong, depending on your skin type, you're going to have serious side effects that might not affect you right away, but over time the buildup of not cleansing right can resort to acne breakouts and yo-yo skin and compromised barriers that can trigger stress. Really, you're more vulnerable to stress when it does happen, so your skin can break out in hormonal or stress breakouts. You can have broken capillaries and redness and skin texture change. You can have too much heat bringing collagen collagen breakdown that eventually causes fine lines and wrinkles. You can have inflammation from too much scrubbing or the wrong kinds of cleansers. Or cleansing too frequently, so the temperature of our water and how often we cleanse matters as well, and what's in our water. So fundamentally, this leads me to the second step, or making my own toner. Toner is expensive, it is needed, and once you understand it, you understand why I get so stickler about this process as well, or these three big processes, right? Cleansing, toning, moisturizing are the basics, and they're the things we do every day. So they're all just as equally as important, but for various reasons. So toning When you cleanse, because most people don't use a filter on their water to cleanse with, and they use too hot a water to begin with, and depending on what kind of cleanser or exfoliant, at any level, you're changing your pH level of your skin, even at best to neutral. So you need to change it back to acidic, because this preps your skin for all of the breakdown, or it protects against any breakdown from environment, from stress, from bacteria, from you touching your face, or from your hair, or from glasses or earrings, or I mean, you name it. When you come in contact with bacteria, if your skin is compromised, it is more likely to break out, and it's more likely to break down from any sort of environmental or outside factor, okay? So toning preps your skin for your moisturizer, as well as changes the pH, the two basic functions of toner. So really, distilled water, as long as it's pH slightly acidic, it is going to change your skin back to slightly acidic, and it's going to prep your skin for any serums or moisturizers you put in it. And any sort of serum in general needs to be used before your moisturizer and right after toned skin, because that toning, just a couple of steps, right? A couple little spritzes, helps to absorb everything better into your actual facial skin the way you need it to. And I can't stress this enough, make sure 30 seconds to a minute on all things you rub into your skin. Now, if you want to get fancy with your toner, you can add distilled water, steep it like you're going to make tea, and take chamomile tea and green tea, mix it together, a couple drops of aloe, a couple drops of vitamin E, a couple drops of lavender and tea tree and a lemon essential oil, and shake it up. You can even put peppermint essential oil in there. I've done that before, and that's amazing, especially in the summertime when it's hot. You can put cucumber water in there. You can get fancy and get rose water, as long as it's only that, okay? Third biggest step is going to be the moisturizing step that I cut in. Now, as a lot of you know, I preach natural oils like argan, shea butter, and olive oil, because specifically squalene is made from crushed olives, and squalene is the closest thing in natural oil other than our own, right? It's the one that is the closest to absorb, it's the easiest to get in, and it's the closest in bioidentity. So it's going to be the fastest absorbing, we're going to utilize it the easiest, and it is one of the things that is the most expensive in this world, because other than good argan oil, it's expensive to make. It's expensive to make. So if you have the know-how and you know how to cut in your aloe and your tea tree oil, depending on how acneic you are, you can just use olive oil. I mean, work it in, obviously. It's gonna be a little bit cruder, so you don't wanna just start out with the same amount, because it's gonna feel a little thicker than if you were to go buy squalene oil, but for a fraction of the price. And so you want something that is naturally a smaller molecule, which means that it's going to be liquid at room temperature. It absorbs easier into the skin. And if olive oil is already not the number one, it's probably second. If anything, the second, because squalene, which is the number one, is made from crushed olives, then by golly, I'm gonna use some olive oil. It's the easiest thing for me to subtract out. And then I take that $100 that I would have spent on a fancy moisturizer, and I put it into that equally as fancy and twice, if not 5 times as concentrated serum. Because as we know, serums go on before moisturizers. Typically they're done at night, and I layer my serums. And then I finally finish off with a little bit of my olive oil in my hands, and then work in whatever other areas that I feel I need a little extra moisture. I'm on the oilier side. A lot of my dry clients, I focus, especially if a price is an issue, or if they're just doesn't make sense to buy 6 different products for your face, I try and simplify and say, here are the serums that are going to get the most bang for your buck. Here are the exfoliants that you don't need to use that often, or the masks don't need to use that often. And then here are the basics that you can make in your grocery, your local grocery store will have these things, and you will be able to make your own basics on your cleansing, your toning, and your moisturizing without breaking the bank. And these are all products that the brands out there, these companies don't want you to know, because they're thinking you're not reading ingredients lists. And if you are, like me, you improvise and make things last by rationing and cutting in some of these fundamental, easy grocery store items. They're simple. they're like, it's a no-brainer, right? And if we do have a boo-boo or a breakout, just know that the other little special piece of information I hope you guys already know is Benadryl, aspirin, and tea tree oil, meaning the capsules that you would ingest, you crack and kind of make a paste with, and you take a Benadryl capsule and an aspirin capsule, a couple drops of tea tree oil, and make a paste with maybe like a drop or two of water, and that Q-tip to dab into that area is all you need to dry it out. Just give it a couple of days. You could even mix in hydrogen peroxide instead of water to really give it that extra antiseptic sterile boost that helps with inflammation as well. It's kind of a no-brainer that these are all things that you can find in your grocery store that are great tools, great resource tools for you to be able to have a breakout, not freak out, not have to go spend a crap ton of money on a customized system that promises you no breakouts. And then we all know that if we eat that chocolate or drink that glass of wine or going through menopause or puberty, it's gonna happen anyway, right? So don't cry over spilled milk. Know what causes inflammation. That's a whole other separate topic about nutrition, but know what causes inflammation, know what triggers your hormone levels, which triggers your oil production, and know what you can do if in the event you do any of those things, you trigger an inflamed spot, i.e. a pimple, and you can immediately go to those resources, do damage control, and not have it be the end of the world, i.e. scars or brown spots or lasting for a week longer than you want it to, right? Those are all annoying things that we have to live with if we do get an oopsie. So why have to deal with it if you have these key products that you can find anywhere that are dirt cheap, that are the easiest ways that I save money when it comes to my skincare routine. If you want to know anything more about skincare ways that I save money, message me in the box below. I can try and get out a 2-part if this is of interest to you guys. Definitely stalk the internet like I have. We'll just dig into the rabbit hole that is YouTube, and I will do my best to keep that wheel churning with more content as well. So as always, subscribe in the box below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.